Yo, good afternoon. This is King Daddy coming at you with another video. And please don't mind the music. This is the music in the background. If you hear it, it's non-instrumental, coming from a YouTube, coming strictly from YouTube music app. Anyway, this is a video coming from coming about the game from last night, Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. It was an exciting game back and forth, which, quite frankly, shouldn't have been. Um, really quickly, shout out to both teams. Both teams gave it their all. Um, really big shout out to the GOAT. And I'm saying that one more again. The GOAT. The greatest of all time. Super Bowl MVP. The top 5 quarterback of all stinking time. Jalen Hurts. I said it. Jalen Hurts. And I'm putting him past Patty. That's what he's called. Patty. Yes, he is better than Patty. I don't give a crap what anybody says. He's better than Patty. Why? 'Cause he's beaten Patty. Not once, not twice, but 3 stinking times. Yes, 3 times. Count it. 3 times to 2. You know what? 4 times. Because that first time that Patty has beaten him wasn't because Patty beat him, was because of our crappy defense the first time. So it should be 4-1. Anyway, I had to get that out in the first 1 minute of this video, because apparently the analysts seem to put Patty on this high pedestal, that he's such the greatest quarterback that has ever lived. Oh my God, he's so great. It's the most sickening and just vomit. That I can't stand it. I'm sorry. I just that. Oh God, it makes me sick. Anyway, anyway. So yeah, it's vomit nauseating, the way they put quarterbacks like Patty, Lamar, Joe Burrow, Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield, John Herbert, uh, who else they put on a pedestal? Jaden Daniels, uh, uh, choking Dak. Um, who else they put on a pedestal above Super Bowl MVP, who's breaking, no, excuse me, broke and made history in Super Bowl records, broke Super Bowl records, the only quarterback in history that broke Super Bowl records and made it to the Super Bowl records in the least amount of time. No other quarterback has done it in the least amount of time that the reigning, defending Super Bowl champs have done it, but Jalen Hurts. Not even Patty. Let that sink in. The Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts. Let that sink in. Which, by the way, is 2-0. Now, let this also sink in. Choking Dak never, ever in his entire life, not even his fantasy or dream, made it to a Super Bowl. He's won 2 playoff games and choked in both of them. But he throws for 4,000, 5,000 yards. God. And he passes for 40, 50 touchdowns. Oh God. Yeah, you see how fruity that sounds from these analysts? Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. And then you have Lamar. Oh God. He's the greatest quarterback that has ever lived. Oh my God. Yeah, you see how fruity and nauseating that sounds? That's exactly how I feel, especially when these so-called analysts on ESPN talk about him. But I have a question. Any one of these 2 quarterbacks ever in their dreams alive made it to a Super Bowl? I'm waiting. I got time. And apparently so do they in their 11, 12 years. I have another question. How much time did it take for the reigning, defending Super Bowl MVP made it to the Super Bowl and won it? Oh, he's already won it in less time. Significantly less time. And he doesn't need to throw for 3, 4, 5, 6,000, 90,000 yards with 50 billion touchdowns. All he does and needs to do is win. Oh, and by the way, he has more wins than most of these quarterbacks combined. And less turnovers, by the way. Oh, yeah, less turnovers. Take that to the bank. And if you don't believe me, research it. Google it. That's what the internet's for. It's called the World Wide Web. And when he needs to throw it, comes away. Research that. And if you don't believe me, watch his games. It's on the Sunday NFL ticket. If you don't have it, you could always YouTube it. If you don't believe me, watch yesterday's game. He gives it away to Devontae. If you don't believe me, watch the Dallas Cowboys games. He gives it away to Jahan Dotson. And everybody is so upset that the tush push. Why? You're doing false starts with the tush push. Oh God, they're complaining that it's so illegal. Oh my God. You see how nauseating and stupid that sounds? Come on. Stop complaining and whining about it. They tried to ban it like 500 billion times. And each time, even some teams even most teams were like, stop the nonsense. Most teams were saying this is garbage. Get out of here. They agreed that the banning is not even worth the time to fight for it. Even the teams that that tried to do it failed miserably. Completely miserably. You know why? Because they suck! The only team that was able to do it successfully was Philadelphia Eagles. Why? Because we're the better team. That's 100%. We came up with the play. We ran the play better. We 95% are successful with it. If you can't beat us, guess what? You suck. That's just the whole I mean, you can't deal with it. Hey, stop complaining. Find another play to counter it. Use your brain cell. If you ain't got no brain cell, that's not my problem. That's a you problem. Stop complaining about it and grow a brain cell. Coaches back in the 70s and 80s didn't complain and whine about it. They find a way to work around it. But no, these new generation fans and coaches whine and complain about it. And go and try to go to management about it, like, oh my God, it's cheating. Oh my God, it's illegal. Oh my God, the players are getting too injured. Oh my God. You see how fruity that sounds? Exactly. Get out of here, man. Get out of here with this fruitiness. Come on now. This is football. Get out of here, man. Not back to Fruityville. Come on, man. If you can't beat it, then then go back to golf or tennis. Go back to some soft sport, baseball. I don't know, ping pong. What else? These analysts. Oh my goodness, these analysts are so. I don't know what to say about these analysts. These analysts refuse, and I mean refuse, to admit that Jalen Hurts is the GOAT. They refuse to admit that he is the best, one of the best QBs around. They will make every single excuse for Kansas City or Washington, whatever, for the reason for their loss. They will not admit that Jalen Hurts is the better quarterback. They will not do it. They will say, oh yeah, well, Jalen Hurts only won because Kansas City didn't have their weapons for them, or they didn't have this going for them, or because of such and such, or because the weather was bad, or because such and such and such, or because they have injured players, or because such and such, or because they had a bad day, or this and this and this. Every excuse in the book for this other team. Well, Dallas Goedert was injured. Landon Dickerson played with a bad back in both games that we won. But mind you, Dallas Goedert completely injured and always is injured. He's made of glass, by the way. Johnny Wilson injured. Oh, by the way, Nakobe Dean has been injured since last season, and he's one of our best defensive players. Jalen Carter, excuse me, suspended last game. One of the best defensive players in the entire league suspended for, in my opinion, crap. Okay, so he spit in the other direction on the person's shirt. I'm about to say this, and it's gonna be opinionated. Dak should have also gotten some penalty because that crappy apology that he did when he spit in so-called the JC's direction. He should have also got penalized if JC got penalized, or fined if JC got fined, because that was crap. He initiated intentionally the altercation to get the best defensive player in the league suspended, because he knew the best defensive player in the league would have been instigated, because he's a little bit immature. Yes, granted. So yes, he would have retaliated. Now, he knew that the refs would not do a dang thing against him, because he's so called the best. I don't know why they call him one of the top 10 quarterbacks or whatever. So, and he brings in, for some reason, the TV money or whatever for the network. So they're not going to do anything to this quarterback. So he knows that's not going to happen. Now, let me say this, and I don't like this quarterback. I'm biased. Patty would never do that to any player, because he has sense and he respects other players. I will give him that. He won't do that because he has actually maturity. He will never do that. Lamar would never do that. Brock Purdy would never do that. Joe Burrows, he will never do that. The quarterback for the Bills, he will never do that. Tua Tagovailoa, he will never do something like that. Aaron Rodgers, he's a grown man. He will never do that. Those are 8 quarterbacks that I just named that has never, from my knowledge, in their 10 plus years, have done something stupid like that. But Dak did, and didn't get penalized whatsoever. Right? Am I right? Those other 8 quarterbacks I just mentioned, in their 10 or 11 years, have never done something ignorant to any player, from my knowledge, like that. Not on screen that I know of. Right? But he did. But nothing happened to him whatsoever. No $50,000 fine. Right? Am I right? Do you see the irony and bias in this right now? Do you? And do you honestly believe that the refs don't protect the Dallas Cowgirls. And in that game, yes, they were protecting the Dallas Cowgirls from getting that loss. 15 penalties called to their what? 8? No, 7. And in those 15 penalties, 170 yards were called against us. 15 to 16 penalties. Mhm. And most of those penalties were completely trash. Utterly trash. You play the replay, you will see they're utterly, completely trash. Really? Because Dallas supposedly brings in the most money because of the city or state that they live in because of the betting and the casinos and stuff like that. Yes, I do believe that. It's all about the betting. It's so egregious. It's not even funny. And the ranking quarterback system that they have Jalen Hurts in is so pathetic and stupid. I think they have him ranked, what was it? I think last time they have him ranked ninth over, I think Justin Herbert is over him or something or some stupid like that. What? Super Bowl champion. Super Bowl champion. But Justin Herbert was ranked over him. He should be no less than ranked third. That's not an opinion, that's a fact. Third. But he's ranked ninth. However, in the history, I think he's in quarterback history, I believe he was ranked 19th, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think he was ranked 19th in quarterback history. But in another quarterback rating, I think for this season or within the last decade, I think he was, or yeah, I think in the last two or three seasons, he's ranked ninth or something like that. I have to look at the stats again. It does not make sense. It makes no absolute sense. But anyway, I'm getting a little winded because the utter disrespect that they have for Jalen Hurts is just ridiculous. It's utter stupidity. Like, come on, man. This is the GOAT. He's beaten Mahomes 3 straight times. Mahomes can't figure him out. But yet Mahomes is put on this pedestal like he's untouchable, man. Like, really, come on, man. Come on. Really? And I don't care if they say that, well, Mahomes didn't have his two best wide receivers. You see how that sounds? I don't care who Mahomes has. Jalen didn't have his best people. Nakobe Dean. The offensive coordinator sucks. Kevin Patula is trash. I don't care if it's the first 2 games. This is an offensive coordinator from 2023. It's trash. It's utter garbage trash. But Jalen Hurts still finds a way to win. That's what he does. That's what he does. That's what he will do, and that's what he will continue to do. That's his niche. What other quarterback does that? Dak? Really? Mahomes? He's 0-2. If he was good, he will find a way to win no matter what. But excuse me, Jalen Hurts, we're down, people. Johnny Wilson's out. N'Kobe Dean, he injured till God knows when, and he's been injured since last season with a lingering injury, and he's one of our best defensive players. Landon Dickerson's playing with an injury, and we need to fill in for God knows how many offensive line, and he's filling in for crazy offensive line right now. Our offensive coach sucks. We need a CB2. Adora Jackson is trash. That's five things that's wrong right now. So what? Who cares? He doesn't have two. Patty doesn't have two wide receivers. I'm going to keep mentioning this because this is stuff that's not mentioned by the so-called analysts and media because they want to keep making excuses for Patty because they keep saying, "Oh well, Patty doesn't have this because Patty's so great. Patty, oh well, you know what? If Patty had this, then the Eagles would not have won." You see how stupid they sound? And if it wasn't for people like, and I'm gonna give them the crazy shout outs because if it wasn't for people like myself and J Kib, Joey Shakes, um, Philly 500, Sills, God, I hope I'm not missing people. Let me see, because I have them on my, and I subscribe to them. And I subscribe to these dudes. Let me bring them up right now, because I don't want to miss anybody. Where they at? Uh, Nope. Hold on. Joey Shakes, 5500. Sills. Um, the Thomas Mott Show. Um, that's five. Um, yep, I think that's it. If it wasn't for those five people, the Eagles would just be mollywopped when it comes to the media because these five people, me including six, are what keeping the Eagles, um, the Eagles are what keeping the Eagles fan base and talk alive and keeping it real for Eagles fans, true Eagles fans, not just casual Eagles fans. You feel me? Keeping it 100, you know, because I've been listening to I guess Stephen A was even uh on the show with I guess Cam, and he's saying, well, something about the here he was saying something about it. Sanders involving Baltimore. Sanders declined Baltimore's offer to draft him in the fifth round of the 2025 NFL draft because he did not want to be a backup to Lamar Jackson. You just never know. And with this particular situation, no. When you consider those things, it was prior to the divisional matchup. Meanwhile, an interesting report from you, Adam Schefter, no, on Shedeur Sanders involving. Here, let me get to it. If I could get to it, I would get. Where was it at? It was. He mentioned it. Nope. If I just saw the video. I thought it was this one.
Prior to the divisional matchup. Meanwhile, an interesting report.
You got to go through two individuals to insert.
No.
On various teams in the
No.
out of college thinking about learning instead of playing. And that's the only thing that I'm saying.
No, we have
That's
to.
all.
We have.
But he's a Brown third string. Talking about Lamar Jackson's going to be probably retired with this organization. So if
sorry, I just saw the video when Stephen A was talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me see.
The Chiefs 20-17 at
Here
Arrowhead.
it is.
Saquon and Jalen Hurts both had rushing touchdowns. The Eagles defense secured the win after a crucial fourth quarter interception by Andrew Makubo. The victory gives the Eagles a 2-0 record, and listen to
I don't
this,
like this
drops
take
the
that he
Chiefs to
said.
0-2.
If you guys could hear
Now
it.
here's what Stephen A had said about this last week. Take a quick listen.
When you spot the opponent 34 points in the Super Bowl, when you down 34-0, when you got two future Hall of Famers, the best quarterback in the game today, one of the greatest tight ends to have ever played football, sitting on the bench looking at one another like, damn, it's a bad day. In the third quarter, everybody and their mother knew it was over at halftime. When you see something like that happening, that game the following year, it's not about a win or a loss on Sunday against a team. It's about how you perform.
Stephen A., I'd like the reaction, the follow-up now that you saw the game.
Listen, I'm not fazed by the Chiefs being on 2. They got Patrick Mahomes and those boys, and if Travis Kelce doesn't juggle that catch and ultimately get it intercepted, which led to a Jalen Hurts touchdown, the Chiefs may have won this game. But it was a hard-fought game. It was a close game. With 3 minutes left, it was 2017 after the touchdown pass to Thornton. And you know what? They could have won this game, but it didn't happen. The key for me was them making sure they didn't get their ass kicked. That they weren't punch drunk from the Super Bowl, that they went out there and they competed and they showed that, you know what, we've learned from the comeuppance we received and we've improved ourselves and we'll be better for it, particularly as the season progresses. I know in the Chiefs' history, you know, it's been about 15 times they started the season 0-2. They only made the playoffs once. I believe it will be twice because I don't believe that the Chiefs are going to nosedive and suddenly can't win football games moving forward. I think they'll be just fine. I just wanted to make sure they didn't get their ass kicked by the Philadelphia Eagles. A loss is a loss. That happens. It's the ass kicking that you keep your eyes on, and that did not happen yesterday.
Cam, I want to narrow the focus here really quickly. Are you
Okay, right here. I don't know if I agree. If you guys heard what he just said, I don't know if I agree with that because I don't care if they got their butts whipped or not. What I care is they lost. They lost. Chiefs lost. Not once, not twice, but 3 times to the Eagles, which people keep doubting us, man. They keep doubting us. They keep doubting us as not the dominant team. What team has beaten the Chiefs 3 times in a row? What? Who? 3 straight times in a row. And the Chiefs were the defending champions until we came along and crushed them. Like, what team did that? We did. And now people are saying, well, the Chiefs didn't have who the Chiefs didn't have the same team. Well, when they had the team, the so-called uh weapons, blah 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 blah, we destroyed them. So either I mean, and we were still banged up. Keeping it 100, we're still banged up. And we still beat them. So what excuses do you have? You ain't got none. Just like Michael Jackson said, you ain't got none.
Higher on the Eagles now, or are you more down on the Chiefs?
I'm down on the Chiefs. And, Stephen A., we got the saying that we all know. If was a fit. It don't matter how you lose, you just better find a way to win. Because a loss is a loss.
Thank you, Cam.
Lose by 1 point or you lose by...
It don't matter how you win or lose. You just got to find a way to win. And that's what Hurts does the best.
40. When I look at the Kansas City Chiefs, the thing that becomes apparent is, where's the weapons? Juju, Hollywood, Thor. Where are the weapons? We've never looked at what we had before, but they've been able to maneuver and generate some type of offense. Xavier Worthy can't get back fast enough if I'm thinking about this, because I think the cat's out now. From the philosophical standpoint, all we have to do is really frustrate Patrick Mahomes, and we got to play man-to-man, and we bracket Travis Kelce. We've never ever seen the Kansas City Chiefs rely on Patrick Mahomes as their valuable running source like we've had in these last 2 games. Now, granted, everybody has to evolve their game, but it's apparently, it's abundantly clear that the Kansas City Chiefs have bigger problems, and we need to find valuable options that can beat consistently man-to-man coverage, and that's not number 87 in El Travidor.
Damien?
Only 3 teams in NFL history has gone 0-2 and went on and win a Super Bowl. I was part of that.
And so were Eagles.
One of the 3.
So the flex.
It's a little bit of a flex. I will say this. Who are you scared of on Kansas City? Nobody. You're not scared of anybody. You're not scared of anybody with Kansas City. Listen, we know the greatness of number 15, Patrick Mahomes. We know he's an all-time great. But what was really apparent is when you watch that game, the way Vic Fangio, defensive coordinator of the Eagles, came after Patrick Mahomes.
I believe we were. Let me rephrase that.
He's not the type of guy that's going to bring a lot of pressure. But Cam, why does somebody bring pressure? Yeah. They don't worry about anybody on the outside. They just like, you know what? You ain't got the dogs on the outside, so I'm going to go out here and I'm going to heat up your quarterback, knowing like he's the only guy that could possibly keep you in this game. And Marley, I want to say this, okay? I want to say this. The Kansas City Chiefs had a mini bye coming off that Friday night game against the Chargers, Fred.
Yeah. That's another thing. They had a mini bye week, and they still lost. They couldn't find a way to get it done. So what is their excuse? They ain't get none. They ain't get none.
Playing at home, rested up, playing against a team that obliterated them in the Super Bowl and still lost. Yeah. Think about that. I think that speaks to me of the lack of invincibility with the Kansas City Chiefs right now. And I think not only that the Philadelphia Eagles go in there and get the win, you don't think other teams aren't thinking to themselves, man, we're not sweating the Chiefs like that. Now, I know it's early, but 0-2, trust me, it's a problem. 0-2 is a problem.
Listen, I get where y'all coming from, but can we pump the brakes?
Oh, God. Now here comes Stephen A's take. This I cannot stand because he's one of those people. I think that he is a chief supporter. Just like a lot of those people that think that Chiefs are such on a high pedestal because they won 7 Super Bowls and blah, 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 blah. So they don't, they can't do anything wrong, blah, 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 because they bring in money for the NFL, da, 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 da. Get out of here, man.
Talking about in a guy, all right, in a guy like Patrick Mahomes, we talk about a 3-time Super Bowl champion and a guy that's been in 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls. Hollywood Brown can ball. We understand that, but he's not a number one. You get him because you want to stretch the field, right? But Rashee Rice has been suspended for 6 games. Xavier Worthy gets hurt on the first play of the game with the run-in, the collision with Travis Kelce by accident. They don't have 2 of their 3 receivers.
No. Jalen Carter, suspended for last game. N'Kobe Dean, injured since last season. Landon Dickerson, playing with a bad back. Johnny Wilson, injured. That's all 4 of our guys not there. Offensive coordinator sucks. I mean, but you notice how Stephen A mentions none of that for the Eagles, but we still win. Wow. Two of the wide receivers are having issues. Cry me a waiver. Cry me a lick. We find a way to win 2 games. They find a way to lose 2.
Kareem Hunt's not running the football, but so effectively, and he's not their number one. Spider would be Pacheco if he was available. They got injuries. They got guys that are not on the field for them. So,
Cry me a lake.
Can these guys hold down the fort? You're starting off 0-2. You got 15 games to go. All right, and the Chargers is one thing. You got them flying all the way to Brazil with that stuff, and then you get injured or Worthy on the first play, knowing that Rice is out. Okay, and then the second game of the year, you're going up against the reigning defending Super Bowl champions who stomped you in the Super Bowl. All I'm trying to say to y'all is like, it's not like this isn't recoverable. I'm not picking them to win the Super Bowl anyway, but I certainly believe that they're going to make the playoffs because I know they know how to win. And when you look at them being bereft of personnel right now due to the injuries, I think they'll be just fine. If we're talking, the way y'all are talking is like they got everybody on the field, they're fully loaded, and then they lose it. It's not what's happening with them right now. They got to find a way to make amends or to make up for what they lost right now because you got cats injured. Injuries come with football. I know that. But the point is, they don't have their full personnel. They're not fully loaded yet. And it's 2 games in. Come on, y'all. Calm down.
Listen, Stephen Anthony, you're not fully loaded. The folks in Atlanta gonna love this. So whoop-dee-doo. You ain't got Rashee Rice. Whoop-dee-doo.
Thank you. This time I love Cam's point of view.
Listen, bro. We don't care about that.
We don't care.
That are looking doggone good. You got the Ravens. That's looking really good. Broncos. That's looking really good. So you got all these issues and acting like the Kansas City Chiefs is the only team in NFL history that had to battle back from injury. It's Cincinnati Bengals about injury right now.
Yep.
Whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
Care about that, bro. This football, we got to figure this out.
May I respond? May I respond?
No, you can't respond.
First time on national television, I'm going to accuse Cam Newton of lying, Woody. He's lying. He's lying when he says, he's lying. Are you ready for this? He's lying when he says that folks in Atlanta are saying, whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo sounds like a celebratory comment. What the hell have y'all had to celebrate? You went to the Super Bowl and gave up a 25-point lead. You made the divisional playoffs the next year, and ever since then, you ain't made the damn playoffs. So Atlanta ain't saying that. Atlanta's in no position. The city of Atlanta's in no position.
What does that have to do with the Eagles? Eagles ain't got nothing to do with Atlanta, so why did you just flip the script of Stephen A from Eagles to Atlanta? That ain't got nothing to do with this. So you're just trying to try and flip it around and try to revert to something to has nothing to do with what Cam just said. So you're trying to yell and scream and completely divert the entire conversation to something that has nothing to do with what's going on. You're trying to do what's called a black around. Trying to turn this into a black conversation is what I call a black around. Yes, I said it. It's not a racist statement, but it's called a black around. Where you're trying to erase the entire conversation and try to change the entire subject. Yeah, you think I don't know? You better somebody. I ain't new to the whole situation. I ain't new to the game. Get out of here, dude.
Position. Say that. Mahomes be talking about.
This guy's pissing me off.
Oh, let's be cool. We're talking about what they say in Atlanta. Now I love the ATL, baby. You know that. You know where I come when I'm in town. I roll to that cigar bar. You know I ain't got nothing but love for you, bro. But we don't want to hear. You know what? We proud of Atlanta for winning a regular season game on Sunday Night Football.
Let's be clear. I got to get in a commercial break, and I got to let Cam respond real quick. Like the whole 10 seconds.
Let's go.
10 seconds of this. This has nothing to do with the Atlanta Falcons.
No, it does not.
Cite your source. Atlanta, the culture. I got to make you hip, Stephen Anthony. When we say
the point is
shouting.
And he starts shouting over Cam because he has no actual legitimate response to the Eagles.
I ain't talking about no Atlanta Falcons.
And Cam saying what to do. What does the injuries have to do? It has nothing to do with that. And right there, they went to a commercial break because Stephen A just got shut down by Cam. Because Stephen A has no rebuttal to Cam. You see how stupid some of these analysts are? Especially Stephen A? He has no rebuttal because Patty sucks. Especially when he's getting flustered by a good defense. And when he has no response to a quarterback that actually wins and knows how to handle diversity. Jalen, Super Bowl MVP, which Patty is not. Super Bowl MVP QB, breaking records, historic records. Patty never has. Take that to the bank. Well, I think this video has been long enough. I hope that you guys like, subscribe. Please leave any comments in the section of what you guys would like me to leave out or add, or suggest in the comments what you would not have me add. To all my mamicitas and daddies out there, have a good day, and I will see you on my next videos. And go Eagles fly, go Eagles fly. Thank you, and please like and subscribe.